picture until. Can you pass me my phone, please, up there?
No, that's not it.
You can keep it plugged because I'm probably have to plug it back in on a break. Let's see. Keep on going. Thank you. Is this one? All right, y'all. You can go ahead and hit that link in my bio because we're about to go live in 3. Oh, that's 2. 3, 2, 1. I'm in 3. Oh, that's 2. 3, 2, 1. Y'all, you can go ahead and hit that link in my bio because we're about to go live in 3. We on it? We ready? We're about to just play this real quick. What's up, Charmaine? It is sideways. Hey y'all. Ish, will you get out of the camera?
It's your own.
What up, world? You're now listening to Nightmare Radio with Ishmael Zach and Brittany Kristen, the Black Coach Edition, and Direct Access Radio.
We the top of
Nope, it's not. It's just, I think it's the.
I get the cash on project, get a lot of the tickets. I get the best of the bunch, the full of the one I can dig it. $5 cash on my law, we about to get it. Rolling up with the sand, no,
Let's walk this way. We'll be right back. Because I haven't seen people do that. Go get it right now.
Very cool, give them a lot of mouth. Since you close your eyes, give them right there.
We just gonna have to be on the side.
It's big on that's what up you with.
That's the only way that makes us get in there.
Pull it back some.
But if you pull it back, something will be too hot. And you're still not ready.
How about I say, shake it, go sweep the room. Everybody running this thing and I'm playing the room. Shoot one time, say it double time like you're on shrooms. Shoot. On the other line, it's a fake time, say a nigga on the news. We about to shake in this bitch. Frosted flake on the wrist. The gang ain't playing that shit. Yo, I got a shake in this bitch. Shake. Shake it up. Hit it back into back. Feel it back when the mood conversate. Put them up on the plate. Put them up. Baby shaking in the waist. Shake the flash like the same face.
Yeah. I mean, since we can put somebody right here and be on the side. That way you can be with the camera.
You have to start recording it right now. Be at least right there. Bring
Oh, get it. Hey, King Young Rich is here. Okay, let me go to the door and get you. He just said he's here on the line. It's gonna be good.
most rappers think they tough. I swear to God, I don't give two fucks. I'm nuts, hanging, we gang banging, we all the Instagram, you ain't gon' drop, man. All that pistol tone shit, and you ain't gon' pop, man. You got a mask full, nigga, you gon' rob, man. Come in the club, you gon' fuck you, we gon' block. I got that dirty on you, nigga. What you talking about? You talking about the club, nigga. Wet, you gon' walk out. Don't get no boss, nigga. Wet, bring the cops out. That's why it's drunk, nigga. Wet, bring the block out. Shit, I'm a bitch, wet. Keep on calling me. Shit, I'm a nervous bitch.
What a minute, shit, boy, DJ Dave P. Right now, One Nightmare Radio.
Oh, is that my mom? Are you watching this, mommy? Hey guys, we're about to get started in just a minute. King Young Rich just walked in the studio. So we're gonna go ahead and start the show as soon as it's mixed by DJ Dave P. Please, and then we'll be right with y'all, okay? Appreciate y'all for checking in.
I met her in June, she let me his own. She had to dip like a prune.
Let me show you what to do, man. Please,
I'm still on that hood, she ran with the pool to can't talk for it long. It's the buffoons, they walk up and face you. They pull out my go.
It's gotta be over. Well, this song, okay. I didn't make
I just need it for the culture segment.
1, 2, 3, let's go. When I pull up, I was back to get it. No one is back to city. I can't come in, this a choppers that get it. I can't come in, this the rockers that fit it. Rocks on my wrist and my icon from million. I'm a young rich nigga stuck to the city. Rocking the back, this bop, I did it. 1, 2, 3, let's go. You drive through a kick on surprise you. If you kill a rap nigga, to work on ride you. These niggas got her still disguise you. I'm going back to my ways. I put my dick inside. She took a baby and died. She said her bitch got a little bitch and her little bitch on my roll for trouble, my words ain't tennis. Trap out, jump like a wizard or a dentist. Niggas like shit, I decide when I finish. Race that judge, decide who can see. Fuck, she a bad bitch, eat the pussy like a spinach. She a so dick on the way to the dentist.
We share this document with you, right?
You said what?
Do we share these documents with you?
I'm not gonna wear them.
Okay. I'm already in the drive. I'm about to my bad. Yeah, we share it with you. Okay, I'm about to I can go on a Nightmare Radio.
The Eastside Girls Chronicles segment is brought to you in part by LaCash Flash Affordable Mirror Photo Booth, which is great for weddings, school dances, birthday parties, grand openings, and so much more. Just select your preferred package and the rest is on us. The Mirror Photo Booth comes with 2 fun and professional full-time attendants, a variety of props, a keepsake flash drive for the host with all photos, and a list of add-on options so that you and your guests can have the ultimate Mirror Photo Booth experience. For more information, hop on Instagram and follow LaCash Flash or visit them online at lacashflash.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
What's up, guys?
Welcome to Nightmare Radio. It's your girl, Brittany Kristen,
And it's Ish.
the exec.
Exact.
What's going on?
I'm not feeling too executive right now.
Why? Is it a chronicle?
A little bit.
Well, let's go ahead and hop it off. Welcome to the Eastside Girl Chronicles. What's up?
I don't want to talk about it though.
Okay.
I mean, I could, but I don't know.
I'm nervous.
Why are you nervous? We all nervous.
We just trying to figure out is China Grace gonna show up or not. I'm sorry. That's all I want to motherfucking know. Okay? I just want to know is China Grace gonna show up or not. Period. Okay, boom. Okay, so boom, baby. We just want to know, are you gonna come? So I emailed her initially, and I was so excited, like a real fan, like, oh my God, child, she emailed me back, she gonna come, blah, blah. And then I didn't get no response. And then she emailed her to say, cause she come this week, and I'm like, okay, cool. So I went ahead and made her a little graphic, and I put it up, but I ain't heard nothing.
Uh-oh, that's the Chronicle.
Ella ain't here again. Ella Boo. You on my list, Ella Boo.
Well, we love you, Ella.
We love you, Ella Boo, but if she comes, she gonna call your phone, but you ain't here. So I sent her a DM and I said, hey girl, when you get here, call this number. So I prayed to God and I put it in his hands. And I'm like, Lord, if she gonna come, she gonna come. If she not, she not.
It's all
But
good.
she better come.
But child, I was looking, if you listening right now, if you on the way, you know what I'm saying? I need somebody to teach me to dance, and that's a little bit of my Chronicle for the week. So I'm waiting on you to come, because I know you a dancer, and I know you gonna, you know.
She is a dancer. She's so amazing.
I'm saying, she was gonna get me with the, okay, so boom, cash on. We're gonna get to that. It's a hot mess. I'm not about to be looking crazy next week, though.
I know. So what you gonna be doing next week that you gotta learn to dance?
Okay, so at my job, the kids are having a pep rally at the end of the month next month. So or at the end of the week next week, the kids are having a pep rally, and they're doing pretty much like a flash mob dance competition. And the dancers pretty much asked a few teachers to do the mop challenge with them and the renegade with them.
I actually like the thing.
Yeah.
Hey.
I got that one. I think I'm okay with that. You know, I don't know. The kids, they be real truthful.
I can teach you, Brittany. I know I'm not young, but it's nothing a little
We are
YouTube
young.
tutorial can
We got a new intern
to
today. Yes.
Kathy, I look 32. And I'm just trying to figure out, girl, where.
So
But I love her already. I love her spirit. I'm just trying to get to know her, break her in a little bit. So, you know, it is what it is.
definitely. Oh, that's one for the day. Okay, so for our listeners that have been listening for 4 episodes straight, it's clear that I have a problem with repeatedly saying the word definitely.
Yeah.
It's like my little extra razzle dazzle at the end of every
She
sentence.
got to say definitely.
And I'm working on it because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of hearing definitely. So if y'all can help me keep accountable, if you're listening to the live or if you are just a regular listener, which I hope you are, which you're listening to us on Anchor, on Spotify, on SoundCloud, or through the Direct Access Radio website link, shoot me a message in a DM and say, girl, I heard you say definitely 3 times this week or X amount of times. Let me know, let me know if you're listening. Let me see the receipts. Let me see if y'all really listening, keeping up with me. Okay.
I got a couple chronicles. So in Saturdays, we're still out here killing our young kings. The young legend Pop Smoke. Oh yeah, has been killed.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace to Pop Smoke.
And apparently it was due to a home invasion, right? They broke into his home.
Allegedly. We have to learn how to say allegedly. Because I don't think I said allegedly when we talked about the baby that time.
Oh, and don't call him Jonathan because he doesn't.
Oh, I
like
did
that.
call him Jonathan. You saw that?
I did see that.
Oh, Jonathan, it's okay.
Allegedly, the baby told all of his supporters and fans, if you're not his baby mama, and he got to, he allegedly. Allegedly has to.
Exactly.
Then you don't need to call him by his government. That's reserved for his daddy Kirk, rest in peace, or his mama, or his ladies.
All right, Jonathan. Anywho, but so it was supposed to be
Go ahead.
It was supposed to be. They said it was a home invasion, but nobody took anything. So it looks like it was really a hit put out on him.
Wow,
and he was only 20 years old.
Wow.
They say that he took a picture, or him and his friend took a picture on the ground with a bunch of money and cash with the location.
Right.
And even if he did do that, it's still the principle of why y'all gotta be greedy enough to do something like that. You know what I'm saying? The greed and the jealousy and the hate for me. And it's real sad because I have young kids who are boys, and I don't want them out here making dumb decisions like that.
I know I'm a mom too, but not a mother of a young black king.
But you are a mother of a young black girl, and another young black girl was found in the woods.
Oh my God, college student.
Yeah, so that's the second chronicle.
Oh God.
These young kids just do not have any value for life. It's just like, what is going on? And I feel like the old people saying these young kids, but it is what it is. But let's get into your last chronicle, girl.
Okay, so y'all know I call myself the Black culture aficionado, and that is for a purpose. The word aficionado is just a real fancy word for someone that's a big enthusiast that is heavily interested in a topic, a subject, an idea, and that's completely me for Black culture, all things Black. And it's my month. It's Black History Month. This is my season. I love it. Even though we do 365 Black history around these parts, I have not, and I do celebrate Black history every single day with my students at my 9-to-5 job and just in random conversation. You know, I always find a way to steer the conversation, but I haven't like made, you know, a public effort or announcement like using socials because it's for me like acknowledging the contributions that African Americans and people all over the African diaspora have made to
diaspora.
I'm dropping knowledge on you. I'm putting my aficionado hat on. Diaspora.
Okay.
Now, this refers to all as far as the continent spans and reaches across as far as our continent, Africa, reaches across the world. So when we talk about Black history did not just start with slavery. We know that. So when I say the diaspora, I'm reaching to Black folk on the continent of Africa and Black folk that have origins on the continent of Africa across every other continent on this world. So that's African American, that's Afro-Latina, that's African European, that's anybody that got some melanin in their system, in their skin, you know, or any instance or topic that is influenced by those melanated people. But yeah, so I haven't formally done anything on social media, you know, to acknowledge myself and this month to celebrate. And you know, people do it for the gram to flex, but I live this shit on the daily. But even with that said, for those that don't know me on the daily, I still feel like I need to acknowledge it. So this week, starting on Sunday, I do have a 7-day challenge to end off Black History Month.
Okay.
And so if you're following me, which you should be,
Period.
you know, then
Maybe
you
I
can
should start saying
participate.
period.
I put a period on that.
Period.
Okay.
Okay.
You all, I definitely encourage you all to participate with me on this challenge. I'm going to basically highlight a few of the great things that Black culture has given us over these past years, and I'm gonna go into the vault as well because like a real chronicle is me having like real ass anxiety about how I'm represented on social media, which stops me from posting a lot of my stuff. But I do have some content that's specific to Black culture, to Black history. That's archived, that I'm probably gonna pop off on y'all this week. It's
And
gonna
that's
be
good.
TBT every day.
I don't know, we talked about that, and I'm glad you went ahead and did it. So
Yeah.
that's great. So speaking of culture, let's get right into this culture list.
It's the culture list, y'all.
We gotta get a little segue thing. David, if you're listening, your homework for this week is to create a segue for the culture list.
Yes.
So we're gonna get you the song we want, and we'll send it to you. And next week when it's time for the culture list, we're gonna be like, it's time for the culture list.
That sounds
Something
good like that.
You know what I'm saying?
For the culture.
Okay.
Something like that. You know what I'm saying? All right, so you know Brittany's giving the wins and I'm serving the L's.
Okay.
So go ahead. We're gonna get into the wins for the week.
Okay, so my favorite win for this week, I wish I could play the audio. We might have to.
We're gonna do a lot.
We
If
can
you
figure it
look, we getting better and better each episode. Give us some time. We're gonna do some little investing. We're gonna have drops. Shout out to Nikki a little bit. We're gonna be having all that going on, so don't even worry about it. But go ahead, Brittany.
Okay, so first up on my culture list, wins is Amanda Seales and the entire cast of The Real on that politically correct clapback during the Real's 1000th episode special this week. So if you're not watching, The Real is a daytime talk show with personalities like comedian Lonnie Love, Cheetah Girls, and vocalist Adrienne Bailon, social media personality, fashion icon Jeannie Mai, and of course we can't forget our favorite half sis, Tamara. What's her marriage name? Tamara Mowry.
Lowry.
Tamara Mowry.
Housley.
Tamara Mowry.
Lowry.
Like the
season. You know, it's actually seasoned salt, not seasoning salt.
See, that's for the culture.
We be doing too much.
We do. So the castmates of The Real, we got Lonnie Love, Tamara Maury Housley, Jeannie Mai, Adrian Bailon, and the newest cast member to The Real is Amanda Seales, who you all will recognize. If you're real old school from the 90s, you'll recognize her from My Brother and Me. But most recently, she is known as a comedian, a vocalist, and an actress on Insecure, the show produced and created by Issa Rae. So we talked about Amanda Seales last week. She's pretty controversial. She is definitely all types of black girl magic bottled into her being, but she has a reputation for being outspoken, which is not a bad thing as a black woman. I just want to go on the record and saying that.
Which we talked about last week.
We did. And so this week, one of the correspondents who is calling us on live, one of the correspondents from Extra Media Marketing came on the show to do like a quick little interview for them. And she was just extremely shady, dropping the shade. Like I believe she congratulated all of the castmates. And she was like, how does it feel walking out on this set for 1,000 times? Then she cut it short and said, well, not you, Amanda, because you're a newbie. With the hand, if y'all, I mean, on the audio, you can't see my hand, but I'm giving you a little, hand wave. And immediately Amanda Seales was like,
everybody was touching her hand, but
right.
So tell us,
her hand.
So how she clapped back though?
She did. Okay, so at that point, she was like, she kind of sort of was like, I'm not new to this. It's just a new platform for me. But that was kind of sort of under the radar. So for my people on live that can see this. So she had her hands down here, and Lonnie Love was sitting next to her, and Lonnie gave her that sisterly hand grab, like, ooh, girl, I know that was a little dig right there, and I feel you, and you had every right to go off, but you didn't, and I appreciate it. So it was like that universal sign of sisterhood, camaraderie, like, I feel you. But not only did Lonnie Love give that sign to her, but when the extra girl, her name is not even necessary, but when she said that little comment, all the rest of the co-stars kind of sort of cut their eyes at her. Too bad that wasn't the first or the last comment that she made. But later on in that little interview, the extra correspondent also made light of Jeannie Mai and Amanda Seales on camera adversity.
Right.
And I wouldn't say tension because Amanda Seales is very opinionated, and Jeannie Mai, who's like Asian, she's also very opinionated. They come from different sides of the spectrum. They have different ideas. They are good co-hosts together. They just have opposing viewpoints. So sometimes it does seem to get a little heated, but there's no like beef behind the scenes. And so the extra correspondent was pretty much like, and yeah, how does it work with you and Jeannie Mai and all that negative energy that y'all got going on? That was a direct shot there. And Amanda had to tell her, stop. Like literally, she was like, stop, like hand up, stop. Let me put you together real quick. And she so effortlessly summarized why it's important to have a platform with multiple women from different backgrounds, why it's important to have conversations in a room with different people, to have different opinions. And when you see Amanda and Jeannie Mai on the show going back and forth together, it's not that they're going against each other, but they're providing diverse content. And for her, as another woman, to just automatically insinuate and then target Amanda Seales as the angry black woman and putting those two co-hosts together, pitting them together on the spot was unnecessary, uncalled for, and really she could have clapped back a lot harder. But the Queen Amanda really just summed it up nicely with a quick hand gesture to her to stop, got her life together, and Jeannie Mai was this time was the one that kind of like tapped her like yes, because when she said it, you know the little side face that you give, and people like ah. In the video, Jeannie Mai was literally like. But Amanda, like I said, you definitely took one for the culture. You, along with the rest of the ladies on The Real, for showing the white folks how we handle situations with class and grace, even when they try to come for us. So she gets a win for sure. For sure. Okay, so my second win, and I kind of made mention to this dance a little bit earlier, but this is out to our little sis.
Yes.
Jalea Harmon, 14 years old, from Atlanta, Georgia. We should get her on the show. She is the social media maverick that just pretty much put everybody on to the Renegade dance. She's the choreographer for it. And so black folks, we are like, it's like infamously known. If it's hot, black folks made it, and white folks are quickly around the corner copying it.
Okay, they gentrified that thing
Boy,
so fast. I didn't even know that there was an original dance, but I think what happened was the girl that was caught in the car at the live or in the garage trying to do the little thing with her dog in the back. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Right.
So I think that moment was what made the dance go viral. instead of her actual choreography. So shout out to her because she made it to Ellen.
She did. She made it to the halftime at the NBA All-Stars game last
Yeah,
Sunday.
she did.
So she's finally getting her, her roses, which is good. And she's only 14.
That's what's up.
Yes. And Ellen blessed her with $5,000 when she
That's
was
what was in the jacket.
Yes.
Okay, was it cash?
It was cash, baby.
Hey.
Ellen was like, okay, we got you a jacket. We put a little renegade dancer on the back of it. Let's check the pockets. A stack. Let me hold something, Jalen.
Ellen, call me. I do
Please.
things too. Anyway, so we got an L. And it's probably gonna be my only L. So, and I'm gonna tread lightly on this topic. So if everybody's familiar with Star Brim, she is the best friend of Cardi B. She has been indicted on racketeering charges, which is very unfortunate because she's going to be giving birth in the next couple weeks.
Oh, that's right.
And as soon as she drops the baby, she has to sign herself back into jail. Allegedly, she ordered a slash out on a bartender for something allegedly dealing with somebody messing with Offset. So I'm
What
not
is
sure
a
if
slash out?
I think someone to go and slash her,
A tiger? What is slash?
maybe slash someone's throat, face,
Oh, this is some real stuff.
real gang.
Ooh. Okay.
Allegedly she is the godmother of one of the Brims, and I want to say 5'9" Brims in New York. And I think this incident is linked to Cardi's open case that she was indicted. She was supposed to be
really?
indicted on.
This is the open case in which Cardi caught a charge for fighting those girls that were messing with Offset. Allegedly. Dang.
And I hope that this can not affect her, especially since she's doing so well. She has a daughter, she has a family and a husband. So this is definitely an L because Star Brim definitely just got a dang, I didn't do it. Definitely got on R&B.
Definitely.
But she just got out of jail and she's trying to get her life back on track. And she has a new podcast as well. I don't know the name of it right now. But this is definitely sad for me because I want to see people make it out the hood and win.
And not be in jail.
At all. Especially because when she first got out, her first episode was about her experience in jail, how they weren't giving her food, how she only ate things that she could peel, how, they wasn't giving her water. She had to literally drink water out the toilet.
What?
Like the correctional officers were doing her greasy in there. She went to 3 different facilities and her experience in all of them were not the best. So now that she's been indicted again, people have been real reckless in the comments. Like, I hope they give you your same cell back.
What?
All
Why would
kinds
you
of crazy stuff.
People.
So it's really sad, actually.
That's what. So she was originally in jail for racketeering
I don't know what she was in jail for before.
or like fraud, maybe.
I'm not sure what she was in jail for.
Okay.
Of the first time, I'm not sure. So yeah.
Dang. Well, prayers up to her. I hope that she has a healthy and safe delivery of her child. And I really
Me
hope that-
too. I hope they give her some time to heal
Yeah, I'm saying.
before they throw her back in there. Because when you have a baby, the part that they don't tell you about, like they tell you about the contractions, they tell you about all that, but the part that they don't tell you about is the postpartum part once you drop your child. That is the most pretentious part of
And it can start immediately after you give birth.
I mean, it does start immediately
Upon the
after you give
separation
birth.
of the mother and their child. And they
But
take
I'm
their
just
child,
talking about like the after effects of birth on a woman's body. No woman should be in jail during those 5-6 weeks after giving birth.
And even longer than that, because God forbid she has a C-section, or something like that. I think it's like 8 weeks.
Yeah. And then when
The
she's
medical
already,
attention in
if
there
they
is
were
not-
already not feeding her,
Yeah,
she needs to be, come on now.
taken care of the right way.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
So hopefully her lawyers can figure something out to where she can maybe get house arrest until they actually
Right, 'cause she'll
charge
be in the house
her.
anyway with the exception of
Yeah.
that doctor's appointment.
Yeah. So maybe they can figure something out for her.
Yeah.
That just really sucks.
That is sad. Oh man, my prayers out for Brim, her family, her man.
And for Cardi,
Cardi
girl,
too,
because
'cause
Cardi,
look,
you just need to leave that alone.
Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
When being
friend.
ride or die goes bad, we ain't trying to be ride or dies out here. We trying to
Mm-mm.
ride and flourish.
Period.
Our edges, our pockets, everything. Okay.
And more money, more problems, as you can see.
Yeah.
Sometimes not always about how much money you have, you know. And then we were gonna talk about Ricky Smiley
Oh yeah.
and his comments on black boys with dreads being suspended and boys in skirts being praised.
Okay, so last week, so we talked about last week about Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade's child, Zaya, identifying as a transgender, and how they have rallied a community of support around their child and that decision. And you know, Hollywood, everybody has something to say about it. Everybody, literally everybody has something
Even
to say.
Lil Boosie had something to say about it.
Well, we definitely gotta come back to Boosie and what he said, because it kind of ties into everything. So pretty much Ricky Smiley, he addressed the high school Texas student that was threatened to not be able to attend his graduation for his dreadlocks. And he also tied it in with the whole being supportive of the LGBTQ community. And his statement basically said, it's ironic how in today's society, we can praise little boys for wearing dresses, but then suspend our young boys for how they choose to wear their hair.
Which is actually a meme that's been floating around on Instagram that he reposted. So I don't think, personally, I don't think that it was a homophobic remark. I think it was just like a real statement, because being real, the boy is not being able to walk across stage for having dreads. But as soon as one of the males want to be gay or want to be transgender or change their gender, then they are being praised for it. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't be praised for it, because personally, I just try to tread lightly on the LGBT topic due to past experiences with speaking out and coming off as judgmental. I don't want to come off as judgmental towards the community and their beliefs and things like that. And my beliefs as a believer of Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, I don't want to come off, very judgmental on different things like that. I just want to come off as showing love to everyone. And I know that God will want us to spread love to everyone. So that's technically what I would want to do. But I know that these conversations have to be had. But I don't think that he was going to. I don't think he was being homophobic, because he got Gary with the T on his show.
Yeah.
He has other people on the show. So that, identify with the LGBT community. So I don't think it was a homophobic remark. And I feel like, especially with the LGBT community, you have to tread lightly, because they're real sensitive over there in that community.
This is
like
perfect.
Anything you say will be used against you in the court of law with them.
So it's funny that that's the conversation that we fell into, because if you all watch or listen to The Breakfast Club with DJ Envy, Charlamagne Tha God, and Angela, they recently had a LGBTQ. Well, you know what? Let me reintroduce her, because she has since disassociated herself with the community, but she is a gay transgender comedian. Her name is Flame Monroe. This is her second time being on the show. She is very controversial and infamous in the LGBTQ community, because her thoughts do not align with the majority of the community, and she has no problems not holding her tongue about it. And I'm quoting and paraphrasing from her. So these opinions and statements do not reflect myself, Ish, Nightmare Radio, Direct Access Radio, Direct Access Management Team, or Nightmare Project series. Okay. But Flame Monroe basically spoke about identity. As a transgender woman, her words, accepted that she knows that she would like to be considered as a woman, but she knows that she is not the type of woman that is viewed in the general population's eyes.
And in her response to Dwayne Wade's daughter, Zaya, she said, okay, well, you know, I love that they have created a community for him, that they have extended, you know, opportunity for him to use his platform, but please don't let him get no sex, don't let her get no sex change until she's old enough to make that decision on her own for permanence. And the LGBT community got mad at her for saying that, which is the same thing that Boosie said.
Right. And I feel like the reason why they got mad was because, and from what I've been seeing, the reason why they got mad is because they have never had a heterosexual man rally behind transgenderism, period.
Yeah.
So for them to have someone like Dwayne Wade, who is an
Not
NBA
masculine,
player,
right.
yeah, and it's very
Beautiful
masculine to
wife,
speak out
yeah.
on things like this, then that is why everybody's just taking Dwayne Wade, taking his the way he's raising his
family,
child,
yeah.
because when most people in that community come out to their parents disown them, their parents don't want nothing to do with them. So that's technically how that kind of goes. But when they have someone who is like, who could have been like their parents and is doing what they want for them, you want it for them, you know what I'm saying? So that kind of just like speaks volumes for that community. That's why they're rallying behind Dwayne Wade. That's why they're gonna take Boosie out as much as they can. I don't know.
But I don't feel, and I'm an advocate for the LGBT. Who's watching on here? I'm an advocate for the LGBTQIA community. I have a lot of friends, and you know what? I was on that side of the track at one time too.
Okay.
For about 5 minutes.
Are we going there?
It's okay. We might as well. Mama, hey, family, what's up? If you got a problem with it,
Not if you got a problem.
it's your problem.
Not to mom.
It's okay because she loves me as her child, so this should not be an issue or a problem. And I no longer identify as this as such, but I most definitely can relate.
Okay.
You know, it's a very troubling process of even trying to have those type of conversations with your family members or people that don't have different viewpoints. And the point, the goal is not to convince you to believe what I believe, but the goal is to make sure that you respect me enough, or that both sides respect each other enough to understand that there are differences, but there are reasons behind the differences.
Right.
And so even within the community, like Flame Monroe was talking about on the Breakfast Club, the things that she says, even though she is a member of the community, even though she's a transgender female that also has that also, you know, is a male and has 3 children,
Mm-hmm.
you know, she has a different outlook. She's been in the game for over 40 years. And she personally said that her opinions that don't align with with the community's agenda have caused her ridicule, death threats, and this is one of their own.
Mm-hmm.
And so what she was pointing out was the LGBTQ community can be fickle when it comes to who they support, who they back, because you know we got LGBTQ people that was fund raising money for Donald Trump, and we know that big old homophobes in the White House not doing a thing for the community. Okay. But I mean, it's going to be two sides of the story. Wherever you go, however you spin it, it's going to be different opinions. I think that the main point is respect, general respect.
Yes.
If you don't agree, if you do not believe based on your religious preferences or choices, by all means,
just respect it
gracefully.
Ooh, that was a deep little culture list.
It was deep. Dang, that's all right though.
All right, we're gonna get into this indie mix real quick, and then we're going to bring in King Young Rich
in the studio, you know.
All right, so y'all keep it locked. We'll be right back. Turn the lights off.
Okay, on the live, we're gonna be right back. We're gonna bring in our recording artist special guest for the Get Familiar segment. So y'all keep it locked and we'll be right back. Enjoy this mix by DJ Dave P.
He's got a little cut off.
What y'all saying? Speaks to the constant feminization of Black men. IJS. Oh yeah. Oh, we on live. I'm gonna just talk to y'all on live real quick. We on chat. So, you know, Flame Monroe talked about the agenda that speaks to the feminization of Black men. And he is a Black male transgender.
Them online at LaCashFlash.
It Is there an agenda out here that's working to break down our black men?
How you doing over there, Ken?
Oh no.
What you think? It's too deep for you?
I can actually kind of relate to what you're saying because me, when I came out to my mom, she was mad.
Oh, you on that
You
side?
You
I'm
on the
bisexual,
team?
so
Okay, cool.
Okay, well damn.
She was really mad, and I just felt isolated, like I couldn't talk to her. I still haven't spoken to her at all about it. Now.
Okay.
How old were you when you decided to
And follow LaCash Flash or visit them online at lacashflash.com.
I actually knew before, but I was just kind of tired of hiding it. And I'm still, actually, I'm not hiding it anymore, but the only person that doesn't know is my mom. And I know how to tell her that. So.
instead
Them
of
online at lacashflash.com.
girl, as long as you're
Yeah,
confident
we're
in
gonna split
yourself
this right
and know
here.
that your validation doesn't, even though that's your mom, your validation comes from nobody but you and your higher power, whoever it is that you believe in. And you control
For more information,
the level of
hop on
validation.
Instagram and follow LaCash Flash or visit them online at lacashflash.com.
That's tough. But as far as Dwayne Wade and his family's decision to support that child, yeah, support that child because the village, you need that.
And follow
That's what that
LaCash
man-
Flash
that's
or
what
visit
Slave
them
Mama was
online
talking
at
about. He said he knew that
lacashflash.com.
he was gay
You gotta take that out.
when he was 9 years old,
No, it's-
but he wasn't able to communicate with his family, and he didn't make any changes to his body, until he was good and grown and was able to pay for that himself. And even when he made those changes, those changes to his body, like he knew the stigma that was gonna come along with it. He knew because he identifies as Christian as well, even though he's, So that's why I guess the LGBTQ community don't really rock with him like that because they feel like maybe he's a traitor or he's like sitting on the fence. But like it's so much diversity within the community. People gonna have different opinions within the same community. And the point that he was making was it seemed like the most hate discrimination that he got was from people that are gay.
It's pretty good.
Like
though.
Yeah.
that should be able, or other transgender
You'll see me.
people
I'm
that
happy
should be
right
able to
here.
relate to.
This generation isn't.
We just trying to figure out.
Yeah,
It's
but they want
China
everybody else
Grace.
to be open-minded
I
to
don't feel like we accept each other as we are. We expect everyone to have the same beliefs and the same views.
Mm-hmm. And that was his main thing. Like his thing was, okay, gay folk, and I'm speaking in general, and not this is from
Alright, so
gay
y'all see a lot
folks
of
want people
right
to
back.
accept them, but they don't want to hear nothing about whatever anybody else got to say about them. And then in turn, they provide their own stigmas against everybody that's against them. So it's pretty much like hypocritical. So he's calling folks out on that.
Boom. All right, now.
And boom, he got ridiculed for that. But I stand with him for speaking his mind, for speaking his truth.
All right, Rich, you ready? Whenever you.
What up, man? It's your boy DJ Dave P, and right now you're listening to the Bomb Mix right here on One Nightmare Radio, Direct Access Radio. Let's go.
Can't be sure how to do it.
You come in. It's gonna be where you sit.
Come on in, friend. Come on in.
Oh, I'm gonna sit. My bad. I'm gonna sit.
We're putting your song on every episode.
It's a mic. Talk to your friend. Get him on there. You didn't put your phone on the
Make sure it's locked
And I'm gonna get you. For this segment, you know what? Like, when are you live on your phone? Okay, you got it. iPhone? Okay, cool. What's your live one? You got it. So for this portion, or really really, we can just put it right here. And then we'll just let it go. Yeah, we're gonna post it right after.
She know I'm back, she mad with rap. You know I'm next. Got a bad bitch, we so lit. Now that you got a bad bitch, we so lit. Got a bad bitch, we so lit. Got a triple wet. Got a bad bitch, we so lit. Got a triple wet. Yeah, triple wet. Yeah, triple wet. Yeah, triple wet. Yeah, triple wet. Got a bad bitch, we so lit. Got a triple wet. Got a bad bitch, we so lit. Got a triple wet.
Will you use the phone? Okay. Well, you know what? In that
Hey, I had to slip on a couple of times.
Song tough. Hey, we got listeners. Oh, thank you, Brandon.
I had to fix up the light. I'm sipping drink with a cup of ice. Fuck nigga, fellas of life. I'm shooting whole clip one thing, shoot twice. These 12 rap mice. I smile at my teeth, cut on lights. Just like my catch my hair on white. I was like, we shooting good nigga back up. One of my teeth feel the same coat. I had that drink like a hanger. These niggas really be trying to step out like plankton. I had fuck like an angel. We say, don't like I did, what the fuck is he thinking? These street boys like diamond. I do this shit in a cockpit. I'm tragic niggas, they see me, they die. When I know, step back and shoot like I'm Harden. I have it legs like God. These niggas really not biting, they really just like it.
Wait, you going on live? You wanna? Should we go live from mine? Should we do live from the? Record. We're going to record this. Have her record, and then we can get the clip.
Okay, you can get the quick clip off your phone.
I'm sipping drink with
And
make
sure you do it.
Yeah. You gotta do
These niggas from the floor, rich niggas from the phone, and you know any nigga, man, they talk to like no others ever show. If it ain't nobody,
You working on it. You working on it.
you know, if it ain't nobody, you know, all my niggas get on
On IG? Yeah. You know what? When we leave, when we finish, we'll post your picture with the song on the
It's on there?
on
It's on IG?
if you ain't getting nobody, then I don't know.
You send us lightning round questions.
She's just trying to get a test, I tell her no. I'm a Spencer dripping, baby.
You send it to me?
Y'all listen to the dick.
Oh, I'm not
Look at these niggas, I've been running down the niggas and showing them love. I actually had to trap like a man and I had to get on my own. I remember no time, I'm calling y'all niggas, that's my phone. And that little nigga having this shit, feel like I can't lose. I remember nigga doing dumb shit just to rush the truth. That one nigga really got a love, that nigga really likes to love. And a nigga take trips to LA. Nigga didn't pack love, that shit I did. That shit I did for the hood. I got food on the back. Rich nigga from the phone, and you know any nigga, man, they talk to like no home, never show. If it ain't no matter what it what you for, you know I got bad bitches dripping as it go. You know if it ain't no matter money, I don't know. You know how white niggas get money, I don't know. You know and we having bad bitches by the phone. You know I just thought it was the shit you needed.
Oh,
Y'all ain't married?
that's what I said. You on your way? I'm here for it.
I'm still on my way.
I'm here for all of it. For all of it. That's the last I'm here. Okay. Oh, we
Whenever
know
you're ready, you can just press record. Just tell us when we're ready to make sure you turn the monitor off. This thing ain't getting there. All right, y'all, we ready. Just count us in. All right, y'all. Welcome back. get familiar segment with Young Rich in the building. How you doing?
I'm fine. Thank you for having me.
Yes,
Good
it's
to
up
see
right
you,
now.
right?
It's a blessing
You know,
to be in your presence.
Just
When
a
I
young
saw you
bitch
at
nigga
first, I didn't
playing
even
the
know the song
phone,
was
you know?
gonna be that lit. You know what I'm saying?
It's been, I hear it all the time on Streets 94.5.
They going in. For
They
sure.
do, like every day.
Yeah, shout out to them. I really appreciate what they're doing, and shout out to everybody who helping me checking it out there, and everybody who really support and actually like the song.
Yes, it's a good little song too. It's a little bop too. You got 2 songs. It's another one I just was listening to.
I had a song I had dropped before that when it was called Coke. So I was just running with that before I had dropped the other song. Because a lot of people really don't know the story behind it, you know?
Okay, let us know.
Right.
So like,
Because I know some other people trying to get interviews, but we get the exclusive first. So,
Hello,
you know.
right? You right? Because you
Hello.
busy. You on this media tour? You came to the family first though.
yeah. I mean, people just don't know like the story behind the song. Like, it's really about basically like where I'm from, stuff like that. It's basically just about like where I'm from, you know, my hood folk. Everybody know I always talk about that. That's why it's before.
Somebody said they just gained a fan from you. Shout out to Brandon. He said, "Oh, that's his song. Hell
Shout
yeah."
out to him. I mean, but people just don't know. Like, I actually made the song like almost 3 years ago.
See, it's
You know what I'm
time.
saying?
And you manifested this.
Yeah, I just really was just like, I don't want to put it out yet. I just don't feel like it's not time yet. Like, I don't play the song before. I just felt like, I don't know, they don't feel it yet.
Right.
It just might not be time for it.
Yeah.
You know?
Period. But you know what? I did get a chance to speak with you a little bit last year when you were still working on that project.
Right.
And I just want to attest to the work ethic because you had a whole listening party in the studio.
Yeah, I remember.
And at the studio, like it was a whole listening party. He had at least like 20 people packed out in the studio, but he was still recording. Like you couldn't pull him away from his actual craft. He was like, "Yeah, I hope y'all having a good time, but yeah, bring it down real quick because I need to finish this last track." Like the work ethic is definitely there, and this is 3 years in the making.
I say, I mean, I've been rapping a little longer than that, but I say probably like 3 years. I really started actually taking it serious.
So what everybody always say, I've been rapping for longer than that, but now I started taking it serious.
Yeah,
So
like,
what make y'all like want to start taking it serious? Like what's the click?
it was more so like see, I've been doing this since probably like since I was like 11. Something like that. It's just, you know, I was just out there just everywhere. Like I ain't really had nothing wrapped around my head like what I really wanted to do.
Right.
It was just like, you know, I see my friends rap or something like that, and I'd be like, damn, I be wanting to do it sometimes. But it was really just more so like I felt like I got in a better headspace. Like I could focus better. I was more mature. Like, you know, I knew how to handle life, I guess, a little bit. So I was just like, you know what, it's what I really want to do. So I'm gonna actually do it full time. And then I just started having a better, I don't know how you guys say it, like it's an aura or energy.
Energy.
Like,
Definitely.
I just started having a better energy like around me in general. They were just, you know, I felt like they was looking out for me and looking out for them. Like, you know, people who really just care with a better opinion or something.
Yeah. Did you have to change your circle to get serious?
Yeah, but it wasn't more so like me changing it. It was just more so like, you know, just going through life sometimes, you know, the environment around you itself just changes.
Mm-hmm. On its own.
Yeah.
So what would you say some of your inspirations were as far as the seriousness? Like, did you have any artists that inspired you? A situation that might have inspired you?
I say it's a little bit of everything. I really just feel like I'm one of them type of people where a lot of stuff just influence me, and it's like it be up to me to choose how it influences me. But I mean, really, it was just like my family, my friends, my partners, and really my hood. Like just growing up, just seeing how we live our life and all that stuff. And I was just like, you know, everybody can't do the same thing.
Yeah.
You gotta choose a different route.
Yeah.
Exactly. Especially with this whole Pop Smoke thing that happened this week. Like the young bull was only 20 years old. He didn't even get a chance to really get his feet wet, even though his song is more crazy. But you know, it's just something about how you gotta move and stay consistent on that as well once you get successful.
Yeah, that is true. Like, and the sad thing about it was like I just hate how the situation went about, because it was like honestly, me personally, I was telling one of my friends, I was like, man, I didn't even know the dude, but I was hearing the song and I was like,
Yeah.
Dang, right.
I was hearing both of the songs that he been had out. I was hearing both of them. So I was just like I like the song. I be in the club and stuff. I be hearing it.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, I didn't know that was him.
Right.
Because I started seeing posts and stuff of him before that incident had happened.
Right.
I was like, oh, I never put two and two together though.
Yeah.
It was just crazy though.
I think it was just hate though. Like as an artist, I guess I would be. You can't worry yourself, I guess, with the people that ain't that's not with you. But like now that you are literally on the fast track, like I feel like you probably one of the next things coming out of the city. Do you
For
feel
sure.
like you could be targeted or like you got some haters that's watching that's really not for you, like they say they for you? Or
I mean, I feel like with anything you do, like when it's like a passion or something like that, or it's something you really want to do and you really like working towards and stuff like that, I feel like you always gonna have all types of stuff like that or stuff like that thrown at you. I mean, it's like you just go past it. You don't really gotta focus on it. Like my mental, like I said, I had changed my mental. Like I don't even. I used to focus
on the
I used to
haters.
focus
Right.
on negative stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even focus on the negative.
it's the
stuff.
energy. You said it. You said that thing first.
Yeah, so
The
it's
energy
like,
that's
I really don't be worried about it. I mean, that comes with anything. It's just, sometimes like the topics that get chose out to the public to talk about, like with us with the street stuff and all that. I mean, I get it. I'm living my life.
For sure. Yeah, so the project you had out, that's the mix for the mixtape. You got any other projects coming out is on that project, or you said you just put it out, so we working on something big, or what's up?
Yeah, I got some really big coming up.
You need to give us
Okay.
some more
Right, give us
songs
the
to play.
exclusive.
I mean, we've been, like I said, we've
It's
been
on
playing the
every
song on
show.
every show. Shout out to Dave P. He probably playing it in Birmingham too.
That's
But you
good.
don't know.
Oh yeah, I think I got some friends out there. Somebody told me they heard it out there.
What?
Shout out to some of my people that mess with my one of my favorite artists, Quando Rondo.
Okay.
Some of his
Okay.
family members, they be calling me and they be like, they playing out there in Savannah. So,
Oh, that's
Oh,
what's
I got
up.
people in Savannah.
yeah,
Definitely.
I got some people in Florida, Savannah, and a little bit in Alabama. They've been telling me they've been hearing it surface some type of way. So
Yeah, I'm gonna let you know, Dave P. been breaking that thing out there. So when
yeah.
that play, make sure that thing come on back.
Okay,
Come on back
we
home.
put it in the office
you know what
right
I'm saying?
here.
We gotta have it plaque when
For
it's time
sure.
for
For
it.
sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. I just wanted, like I said before, I just want to shout out everybody who been supporting it and actually, they see the idea, they understand it, and like really, really understand it. Shout out to Big Dog Entertainment, Jay Pizzle. Shout out to my favorite manager, Wooby.
Wooby.
Yay.
Yay.
Shout out to everybody.
Definitely.
In general.
You definitely doing your thing. Keep it going. We got a game for you.
Oh Lord. Again.
It's not Hood Jeopardy unless you wanna play.
You want to play Hood Jeopardy?
Oh Lord.
You ain't gotta play. You
Okay,
ain't gotta
okay.
play.
We'll bring you back to the studio.
We bringing back Hood Jeopardy real soon.
Yes.
We can play whatever game.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we're gonna do shots at the brain to see what you know. What you know.
Okay.
Or
I
or
understand,
how you feel.
Right.
I like how you feel.
How you feel.
How
Yeah.
you feel. We're gonna see how you feel.
Yeah,
All right.
everybody know I'm a honest man.
Oh boy.
All right. And it ain't nothing too scary. It's a real play.
Yeah.
Our intern Campy came up with it, so shout out to her. We can shout her out.
Yes.
So it's her
Definitely
first
shout out.
day.
She been working hard
It's
too.
her first day. She been putting
First day
in
on the
work.
job, came
Hello.
in ready.
Young boss.
That's
For
right.
sure.
In the making.
She wants to be a neurologist.
She gonna be a boss anyway.
She's
making
gonna
that
be a
money.
neurologist. Letting everybody know what's going on with their brain.
Yes.
That's what's
Okay.
up. She's still in high school. She put in work. But she came up with these little quick questions.
Yeah.
So you ready?
Yeah.
All right. First one. Dream collaboration. You can give us 2 or 3.
Dream collaboration. I mean,
I can see you and Gunna on something.
I can see that too.
yeah, like I mess with them. I probably had to say like a dream collaboration. It wouldn't be necessarily a dream, but it'll be something I wanna put like it
A manifest.
in my book.
Yes.
Okay, manifest this collaboration.
It will definitely be Future, and then
Okay.
I ain't like the other one. There had to be Lil Wayne. Like rest in peace to Lil Wayne. Like he was a real legend. Like I really messed with Lil Wayne. And the last one probably be just NBA Youngboy.
Okay. I can see that.
I mess with the mental, like how you think.
Okay, cool.
It's simple.
Okay.
Favorite childhood cartoons.
Favorite childhood cartoon? Oh yeah, everybody know I talk about this all the time. It's talking to Jerry.
Really?
Talking to Jerry.
They ain't even saying nothing on the show.
I'm about to say, don't even talk.
I know they don't talk, but it was just something I used to just
funny.
always watch. It's just funny. But nowadays, Rick and Morty, man.
Oh yeah.
I don't be watching. That's
Rick
they
and
come on
Morty is
Cartoon
hilarious.
Network.
Nah, it's on Adult Swim. It's
Oh,
that's
Adult Swim.
similar to Cartoon Network.
They done branched off and got their
You
own
know, it's
network
just
now.
it's just a little grown version
Mm.
of
Okay.
Cartoon Network.
All right, favorite cereals.
Favorite cereals? It would be Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yes, that's a hood nigga.
That
That's
is-
every
that
hood
is-
nigga. favorite
all that
cereal.
sugar? I don't like all that sugar.
It's
Yeah,
the cinnamon for me.
Yeah, I got a problem with sugar, so you know I be trying to chill out. That's probably the only time I taste to try anything with sugar these days now. If I'm eating some cereal.
Okay, I got one.
Mhm.
White or dark liquor?
I don't drink it all, so it wouldn't be neither.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
well, favorite strain.
Favorite strain? It's gonna be bazookies all day.
Okay, I ain't never came across that.
What's that? Wait, I
You came across it. You came across it plenty of times. You know, the whole world knows about bazooki, but really, the whole city, Atlanta, Georgia, they know about bazooki.
You putting us on
Okay.
game.
Yeah,
Okay.
oh, yeah, for sure.
Because you know Atlanta people love to call their shit whatever they feel like.
They make stuff up. I be watching.
We don't have to sugarcoat what bazookies is.
Okay,
Everybody know what
that
big
sound
dog
like
cannabis is. Everybody know what bazookies is. You know, Valentine's. You know, we just went up with bazooki.
Okay.
You know, we took care of all the young beautiful ladies out there. You know, the ones who felt like they wasn't getting enough credit or respect or just enough love from last year to now.
Okay.
You know, we took care of them.
Okay, period.
I like that. I like
All
that
right.
answer.
Favorite feature so far?
Favorite feature so far?
Yeah.
It had to be from my brother. It had to be from my brothers. It had to be from Jay Pillar and K-Way. And my brother YB, who on here right now watching me on my live.
Hey, wow.
Hey,
them,
YB.
They're my favorite features just because of the simple fact them people I grew up around
Right.
and I know them. I know the background and I know the reality and the realness of it. So it's just fun to know I can do what I like to do with my family and my friends. You know.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
probably had to be something like that. And collabing with my favorite DJ, DJ Milton. That's my DJ, which is down here too. I will be with him tonight at Ghost Bar.
Okay.
What y'all doing with those
Shout out Chef Kodak with the Chef Kodak with the pastas and things. He just moved from Joe's to Ghost Bar, so shout out to him.
Okay, look, I'm gonna have to try him out tonight. But no, my brother DJ Milton, he had a little event down here tonight. It's funny, like, but I feel like everyone should know, that it's in Folkwood, the club Ghost Bar. So
Really?
That's where I'm gonna be at tonight. So
Okay, we'll make sure
my
to
brothers.
definitely pull up on you for sure. One last one that's not really, specific to music.
Okay.
Martin or Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? You got one better.
I have to say probably Martin.
Yeah.
Martin, I guess so. Maybe it's only because he was geeked in the episode.
Oh yeah. But he was funny, and that was a whole lot of improv too.
It was.
Yeah, I'd probably say Martin. I feel like Martin was more like both was for the culture, but I just feel like Martin was just more so. It was more so in the culture, like it brought it out more, like about what was really going on. It was just like the show Jamie Foxx had.
Oh,
The
Jamie
Hotel.
Foxx, underrated.
Yeah, it's Jamie Foxx.
The Jamie Foxx show was underrated.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, they all goats though. Both of them goats.
yeah.
I gotta get that status.
You on the way. You were well on the way.
Just
So let me ask you this: it's 2020. We are at the top of a brand new decade.
Mm-hmm.
By 2030,
Well,
King Young Rich will be where? Will be who? What you doing?
Hopefully, I mean, I don't know the word right now, but I'm gonna go with my boy Wooby. Hopefully, I'll be how do you say it?
A mogul, a
mo-
misfit turned mogul.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be like that. But I really would say calling all my friends and family, like, hey man, how y'all business going? Like how you like or how your family going? Hopefully that's something I'll be doing, traveling with them.
Yeah.
Something like that. Hopefully, I'm just really just my community. Period. So something like that. Really, I want to kind of want to do it like in a Rollo way, but a better way that everyone will be able to benefit and be more safe.
Yes.
Shouts out to him how he doing it. He's just doing it from the the best way he's knowing at the moment.
Exactly.
Everybody got to grow with everything.
Right. Free Rollo, by the way.
Yeah, Free Rollo, go.
Rich, we appreciate you for coming through.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Chopping it up with us. Thank you for giving us the exclusive.
Okay, that's the team. And you said where you gonna be at tonight and drop the social media for us.
Okay, tonight I will be at Ghost Bar with my big brother, DJ Milticket, all the way from Chicago to Atlanta. Shouts out to him, shouts out to Fourth Ward. And you can follow me on all social media sites at King Young Rich. It's King Young Rich, YUNG Rich D. And shout out to everybody again. You know it's out. It's everywhere. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for
All
stopping
right,
with
thank
us.
you for
Checking
stopping
in.
And we will, yeah. All right, you can stop it.
We'll be right back, y'all.
A chronicle and a half. Where's this little girl at?
Thank you. That was good.
She ain't coming, y'all.
That was real good.
She ain't coming.
It's okay. It's all good. And
Let's
look,
take a picture about them.
Yes, we do need to take a picture and definitely want to, we can't get on a drop right now because we recorded.
we can. I can
But
get an
we
audio
can't-
drop.
Yeah. We can, we can record it, yeah. We can record it. All right, cool. All right. Why do I'm here for the chocolate love, you know what I'm saying?
Here for
Dark
it.
skin is love to get a light skin people. I'm chocolate
No,
on chocolate.
yes, that's it.
I'm here
Now,
for it.
see, y'all could have had me that on there. I would have told y'all. It would have been
I
so
was
funny.
gonna bring it up, but I didn't
Actually,
want to put Bay on the spot.
Right. She was
now
like,
it's
I'm
your-
gonna wait.
But now, yeah, see, my mom was actually light skinned. So
Mm-hmm.
she told me a long time ago. She said, you come in here with anything lighter than me or lighter than me, I'm gonna kill you. and she hit me in my head with a pot. So
Oh, she was for real.
I understood. It
But
was
you
a
know
serious
what?
moment.
You never know because my boyfriend is chocolate
Oh yeah.
and my son is light skinned. And I'm still trying to figure out how.
My baby kind of. Well, she gonna grow into her. I think she'll grow.
No, my son is red.
Yeah.
Like,
She's knowing my
Cairo?
mom. I mean, but I came out like that too.
and that's what I thought too. But he's 5 now.
He's
And he's
still.
still red.
Yeah.
So I thought I came out light too, and now you see me. So I thought it was gonna happen, but it didn't happen. But come to find out, my great grandmother is red.
Mhm.
So you still might end up with a red child. Just let mine know. It's okay.
When my baby was
I
born,
mean, that's.
my
I
daddy
mean,
looked.
she gonna know.
Real life.
She gonna know, yeah.
My daddy asked my baby daddy's mom, like he was like, "That baby sure is real white."
So I did.
And looked at my baby daddy's
quiz.
mother like, "Why would you do that?" Right, but she was like, "Oh yeah, well, you know his daddy,
Okay, cool.
you know his
So you
father,
asked me
other
to-
dad's from you know they got somebody in there too."
Yeah.
Baby, why would you? Why would you go that way?
Oh yeah, y'all.
Yeah,
We have it reading though.
I forgot to tell you, y'all was doing a good job with the last segment because this girl here so nosy. You know, she kept telling me be quiet. She was in
You
her
should
business.
listen. Yeah.
I'm glad
She loves all the tea. Trust me. She
Yes.
loves it all.
So what's your thoughts on on the whole on everything that you've heard?
I like it. I like what y'all doing. I like everything.
Oh wait, what we gonna do
Wait,
to get us back? Are we cutting the show right here?
I don't know.
Girl, yeah, we're gonna have to cut it right here because Shawty Greatest ain't here. She ain't called, she ain't sent no smoke signal, and if she did call, she called Ella. Ella ain't called, she ain't here.
All right, guys. For those that are tuning in on YouTube Live, we're gonna shut it off and we're gonna continue with a post show.
This a whole chronicle.
It is a chronicle. Isha's upset.
I'm too mad.
We having a good time in the studio though.
All she had to do was say, you know what? Nah, girl, I ain't want to come. I ain't want to come. It's okay. I'm a little hurt by it.
Make sure y'all tune in with
I
us
was
next
really
week. 12 to 2.
fanning out,
See y'all.
like, oh my God.
You wanna know something funny? Yeah, I didn't know the address. So I was like, I don't know if I was gonna